by appointment only. It's now the scarcity thing, and oh, I can't get it right now. I have to get an appointment, so I want it more. But in the moment, Bijan must have felt, holy shit, that my whole world is gonna crumble. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I've invested all this money. I need to start selling all this product. Like, we got to go, go, go. What do you mean lock the doors? And it's like,
Yeah, and even if he said we're gonna lock the doors and do by appointment only, it's still the same because nobody's ever done that. It's the same as just keeping the business closed. So it doesn't make sense. So the teacher said, this was over a year and a half ago. I heard this story when Ryan and I were just starting Loosey Goosey. He said, gentlemen, the key to growing your business and to being uber abundant is going to be certainty in each other. And Ryan and I coined it the Bijan method. When I don't understand, but Ryan has conviction, it's I have certainty in your decision making. And that shows up in relationships, even probably with yourself, right? Kind of. Bijan method, I don't want to get out of bed, but I know the soul wants to, even though I don't understand why it wants to get out of bed in this moment. And the body's saying no, I'm going to trust that voice that's quiet. That's how you also develop your intuition. The soul is very quiet. At times it's illogical. It's happened for me many times. Many times I have listened to it and it opens up a miraculous like side quest that's unbelievable. More times than not, I've decided that's a crazy voice. I'm not going to listen to it. What are people going to think? And it's so uncomfortable. So it goes back to constantly this certainty in just the power of certainty. And I love that idea. And we learn it obviously in Kabbalah. So backtracking now, how did we get to the Bijan story? We were talking about men trying to get into business with a growth, right? This is something I like to do, go backtrack to retrack my steps. How do we get back to that? How do we get here? You started talking about Kobe, girl dad, showing up as yourself, being friends with somebody that's 100%.
I was saying that I saw you as being 100% yourself as a person.
Yes.
And that I showed up as 100%. I try to show up as close to 100% as myself. And I'm like, I just choose this person. Like, I love this person. This person is great. Like, I know that David in his essence represents David. Like, there's no, like, you're not being anybody else. Like, like we're not going to have to cut or edit or whatever, anything on this podcast, because I know that you're going to be you and I'm going to be me. And if there's something that's said, it's going to be meant to be said.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because in every combination of two people in life, that essence of having certainty in each other is huge. I mean, think about the greatest partnerships of all time, like Jobs and Wozniak in the early days of Apple.
Yeah.
Like Montana and Rice winning Super Bowls on the 49ers in the 80s. I mean, guess what? Jerry Rice had to run his route and get to a certain spot where he knew that the football was going to be so he could catch it, that Montana was going to throw him, and it was there.
Yeah.
He knew it. He's not sitting there looking back over his shoulder. He just knows what's happening. I'm going to be running this route, and at this point, I am going to need to catch a football that is going to be right there.
I think it starts with, because I'm putting myself in the perspective of a listener or even myself who says, I understand. In theory, this is true and it's a beautiful thing. And somebody say, oh, this is so kumbaya. But like practically, it's difficult. Yes, it's challenging. How do you start? It starts with seeing the spark in somebody and trying to look for it.
Yeah.
And the sages, and Michael Berg talks a lot about it, seeing the good in somebody.
Yeah.
Even to a place of delusion where you see someone doing something bad, but because you've so bought into this idea of I'm only gonna see the good in people, I'm gonna justify why they're doing this this bad act. So I see somebody in the alley getting robbed, And it's very easy to just judge and say, oh, this person, one is the aggressor and one is not. But in that moment, I'm going to say, you know what? There must be a reason why this is happening. And you can even extend it to the place of, well, if everything comes from God and God has the best reasons, this must be good too. And somebody who said, David, how can you live a life like that? There's clearly good and evil. But that's just from our limited framework, from our eyes that see but don't really understand what's going on. We don't know the bigger picture.
No, we don't.
I think
We don't know what other people are like
it,
thinking or their
it goes
intentions
back
are.
to what I said originally, right? When my friend said, stop saying we.
Yeah.
It's just David Sorkin.
Yeah.
Get we out of your terminology. It's just you. So in that moment, you see, and quantum, I love science when it validates or even complements spirituality. Quantum says the observer is playing a determinative role in the experience, how it manifests, right? You see your vision and plus your certainty determines, is it going to be particle or wave? So if I have enough certainty and I see somebody getting robbed in the alley, and in that moment I restrict the immediacy of, holy shit, this guy is getting robbed, I need to go help him, or oh, he's bad and he's good. I inject certainty in that moment. You create a mini Big Bang. The universe was recreated. And in that moment, I just determined and changed the whole situation. And that's sick. That's like sci-fi to the max.
Yeah, totally.
Like, but that's the power of this video game that we're in. You are not only the player, but the producer and the director, and you have like overriding powers
Yeah.
because of your consciousness. That's like the most.
And it's like, and how do you interpret these different things as they're happening in real time?
Yeah, somebody could say this is beyond logic, David, but if you look at it, it is logical. You just got there. You can't even see that far. You don't know if one guy is defending himself and pulled out the gun to stop the other guy. Like, how many times do you see somebody? I mean, you read it countlessly. Somebody has a firearm, and this is why training is so important if you want to carry a firearm, and they hear a shooting going on, and they go over and they shoot somebody, not realizing it was somebody defending themselves.
Well, you saw it a week or so ago when the news that came out that Mark Sanchez was stabbed. Right, we get the news flash. It's like Mark Sanchez was stabbed. He's in the hospital. Da 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 da. It's like the next day, the full story comes out. It's like, hey, like Mark Sanchez has been arrested. The guy was defending himself, so he stabbed Mark Sanchez.